So this is the next class. The next class tends to the major approach in epidemiology. There are two major approach in epidemiology. But as far as in epidemiology science, there are two epidemiological study. Those are this is what I mean. Observational study in the so interventional or experimental study. In observational studies, there are two parts of observational study, which means analytical study, analytical observational study, and so distributive observational study. But as approach in epidemiology, there are major approach in epidemiology. The first one is distributive epidemiology approach, and so the next one is analytical epidemiologic approach. This analytical distributive epidemiology concerned with describe the frequency and distribution of the disease and other health-related condition by the pattern, which means the time, place, and so the person. And so this approach is epidemiological approach characteristic in distributive epidemiology once is just as noun a pattern, which means person, place, and so a time. This is so one of the pattern ones. The next one is to describe the occurrence of disease, especially to describe the occurrence of disease fully, which means the question must be answered by who is affected and where and when do the case occurs and how many the case. So which means this one is used to the generate the hypothesis once. The next one is analytical ones. The next one is analytical. In analytical, just it involves, especially here is it asks the question why these diseases and how. Maybe this one is used to the test hypothesis once. This one is especially ask the question how and why. This is an analytical approach of the epidemiology. May as now epidemiology has a methodology. May in methodology just determine the disease of the community, studies and natural history, and the progress of the disease, especially associated or identify the factor or identify the associated in the potential etiology, which means the cause of the disease and the risk factor for the disease. And so the next method one is evaluate the new preventive and therapeutic measure and the new mood of the care delivery. Here is all about the disease-related or disease-related states or disease-related events. From the very beginning of epidemic of the communicable disease to the endemic ones. And so there are disease and health-related problems. May it include both disease and so physiological or psychological, spiritually, especially on the body, including. And so, to the reason of this, epidemiology is the science of solving healthy problems. Of course, as known, epidemiology is the science of inequality. And so, epidemiology is the cornerstone of public health. To the reason of this, you see, epidemiology is a basic science. So, let us see, the epidemiology is the science of solving healthy problems. Yes, in this mechanism, you can solve all about the solving healthy problems or the healthy problems. Which means as first there is need the thinking or assess needs. Then assess needs. Then after you must so find the problem. Then tend to fix the problem. After fix your problem, just you can tend to all about the steps of the inquiry science, which means from the very beginning of step one, data collection. Data collection always by surveillance. The surveillance one is by pattern. Pattern means just as determinants, and so may the three pattern parts by time, place, and so person. Then we tend to the next step by assessment, what you call collect from the your assessment or from your surveillance. Yes, that one is step 2. Then the next one is step 3, hypothesis test, which means determine how and why. That one is to become especially for your alternative ones. Then to the last, just you must go to the action or response ones. That one is in this public health approach, which means why epidemiology is solving the science of solving health problem, which means one of the part of technical public health approach, which means by surveillance, risk factor identification, intervention, evaluation, and so implementation. Here is just what is the problem, just what is the cause, what works, and how do you do it. Then problem to response. That one is hereby. And the next one is the consequent one is so public health surveillance or in epidemiology, as epidemiology is solving its problem by this issue, which means public health in epidemiology, which means just there is a vision, mission, and so just to the last of ultimate goal once. That one is made. The vision of epidemiology is just healthy people in healthy community. Here is the vision of simply the vision of epidemiology, which means the vision of epidemiology in public health, and the vision, the mission of epidemiology in public health. The vision of epidemiology in public health, just healthy people in healthy community. And the next one is the mission of epidemiology in public health, promote physical and so mental health, which means just promote the physical and the mental health, and so prevent the disease, just like here injury, and so the next. And so the next one is just the mission one is prevent epidemic, and so the other disease, and the protect against the environmental hazard. The all about, even if just here is one of the mission of epidemiology, or may promote the healthy behavior and assure the quality and the assessment of the health service by the way. So the next one is there are 10 essential services in epidemiology. Just as public health or as health professional, the health professional motto is as known to maximize the health benefit, and so minimize the risk of the patient, and so may specifically to maintain and improve the quality life of the patient by all about here information, DIC or information, and so information from the community, or by gathering information, or by just like especially a drug center or medicine, telemedicine, or in the others, which means information gathered from the several issues and educates, which means in the world patient education, and so in the community healthy education, and so may as known in health profession, especially in the clinical pharmacy, and so other nurse and the HO, just the professional service is divided into two, which means just patient service and so the drug service ones. Patient service and the drug service ones. So the patient service ones is made in direct contact activity service, and so indirect activity service. Here is especially the educate one is in both direct activity service, and so indirect activity service. The direct activity service one is educate your patient as a one, even if maybe the practitioner ones or the other health professionals. And so the health education ones is may in both direct activities and indirect activities. The indirect activity from the health education one is just like family planning. And so empower people about the health issue. May mobilize community, especially in identifying and solve the health problems. The next one is to develop the policy. The essential service in public health or the special service of the epidemiology in public health is just develop the policy and especially plans that support health efforts. May the others just enforce the law and the regulation that protect health in the so especially ensure the safety. So the next one is link people to personal health service or link the people to personal health service and so assure the provision of the health care to the link of direct or responsible provision. And so as nowadays assure the contact, which means in just health professional or assure contact with the competent public health and so healthcare workforce. May the other one is or the others epidemiological social service is so evaluates effectiveness and accessibility and so the quality of the service. To the last, it needs a research or new insights. That one is research for new insight, and so a novel solution to the healthy problems. It needs especially research ones. So to the reason of this, we can categorize public health approach or epidemiological public health approach by public health model or medical models, which means in community, but in medical, the individual ones, and so in community, the public ones, which means in public or epidemiological, and so here is a clinical. Just by here, may just we can categorize or the factor in genetical, and the behavioral, social, environmental, personal, and the healthy care. But and so may the achievement one for this public health one is all about from the very beginning of vaccination to the last of here. And so here are all about the term of key term in epidemiology from epidemic and so cluster, endemic, and so pandemic with the rates. It is all about the definition of ones. So because of that, in epidemiology, the study types of epidemiology all about here is in experimental and so observational ones.